The recommendations of the 2011 report are so wide-ranging, I don't know whether I can recall all of it, except to say, broadly speaking, we took time to, were 29 people, mostly all the past presidents, some very senior Supreme Court judges, and past presidents of the Court of Appeal. And we took time to deliberate and came out with extensive, very extensive. So all the issues that are now toxic in the NJC and in the Supreme Court were carefully considered, even how to appoint the CJN. And the most crucial discussion was raised by my good friend Rotimi Akeredolu, who succeeded me as NBA president. He said, look, unless we tinker with the composition of the NJC, we would make no progress. Because the NJC, as you know, is the highest judicial making organ of the judiciary. But the problem is that the CJM appoints virtually everybody, and no one can talk. I remember in one of the meetings, when I had a very strong point to make, I was just dismissed. And I thought I had a good point, but there was no one to support me, because everybody was afraid of the CJN, to whom they owe their appointment. So the democratization of the institutions of the judiciary. CJN is the chair of the NJI, that's the National Judicial Institute. He is the chair of the the NILES. He is chair of the Legal Practitioners Privileges Committee. He's chair of everything. So there's a dictatorship. In fact, of the three arms of government, the executive, the legislature, and the judicature, the most undemocratic is actually the judiciary. So that's where the problem is. So what I would recommend to the current NJC is to have a very good look at the report, update it, and absolutely remove the powers of the CJN to be everywhere. And the other thing that I need to say is that we often criticize the judiciary. But you know, the judiciary comprises of judges across Nigeria. I've once had the misfortune of appearing before a judge under a tree. And I know of many cases where judges work so hard that when there's no NEPA, they use their phone lights to continue. So let's not vilify the judiciary generally. The problem is at the NJC. In the NJC, the first day I walked in, I thought I was walking into a five-star hotel. The difference between what goes on in the NJC buildings and a typical courtroom is outstanding, horrible. So we need to flatten this. The difference between a judge of the High Court and the CJN is like God in heaven and somebody on earth. We need to really, really take the opportunity of the lesson, I think, that Tijo Muhammad's valedictory, which has been the most candid, has given us, is to understand where we are with the judiciary. And if we want to reverse judicial failure,